Hello everyone, this is Manish and we are here to present our project Agricultural Crop Recommendation System using IoT with ML, and our team members are Anjali, Divya and Monica, and our project code is ProjGen30. Uh, now Anjali will start the presentation.
These are the contents of the program project which we are today going to present in front of you. Basically, the introduction. What is the problem statement? Basically, is weather is always a wild card in agriculture because it is one of the most important aspect to consider for crop expansion. Whenever we have to sow a crop, weather becomes the most problem. So crop production is the toughest task for agriculture domain usually. Farmers agriculturists usually tend to choose the non-favorable crops without considering the market or risk factors, and these sometimes lead them to situation because they are particular weather condition. Considering all the weather condition, it aims at predicting the crop field and thereby recommending suitable crop for that field. The main objective of our project is to predict the crop which can be grown efficiently. Our system basically collects various parameters from the agricultural field like precipitation, humidity, temperature, soil moisture, soil pH, soil nutrients, sunlight intensity, and among all these parameters, some parameters are collected using sensor data. Some are sensor collected data, and some are chemically tested data, after which the system suggests the agriculturists or the farmers the crop which they have to grow it efficiently. Using all these factors, the system suggests the agriculturist uh, to the crop which they have to grow. So agricultural crop recommendation project, here we propose a crop recommendation system using machine learning and internet of things. The proposed machine recommends the suitable crop for the given soil type and the various parameters which I have mentioned before. Now, what are the system requirements which we are using? Basically, the software requirements used by Azure operating system, that is Windows 7 or the higher version, Arduino IDE 1.8.0 or higher, Arduino libraries for various sensor. We have used various sensor. MySQL server with PHP MyAdmin, Apache server with PHP Parser, PyCharm IDE with Flask framework.
Connected or other.
Now the hardware requirements used are operating system same as Windows 7 or higher. Processor used is Intel Duo 1.2 gigahertz or higher. RAM of 1 GB or higher. Hard disk of minimum 10 GB free space. And the requirements of IoT which we have used are Arduino UNO R3, Node MCU ESP8266, DHT11 temperature and humidity sensor, which is the sensor used for humidity and temperature. Light intensity sensor is used for measuring the light intensity, as same soil moisture sensor, soil pH sensor, precipitation sensor, jumper wires, soldering gun, and 9-volt power adapter. And now what basically is the system design, how the system is designed. The figure on the screen shows the design of the system. IoT for gathering the environment parameters. The IoT application is used for gathering the environmental parameters using various sensors. As I have mentioned before, that we use various sensors for measuring the parameters. So application of IoT for gathering environment parameters using various sensors. And the crop is predicted using machine learning algorithms. Various machine learning algorithms are used to predict the crop. And the output is displayed at the web portal, which can also be used to control the sensor inputs and database data. And now the system design, how the data is collected. As you can see in the figure, this is the soil health card sample which is issued to the farmers or the agriculturists. Some of the data is extracted from the soil health card issued to the farmers by Krishi Vignana Kendra Bidar. This data is used by the ML model for training purpose. Currently, we will be predicting for tur dal, sugarcane, and soya. So this is the soil health card sample which we have issued from Krishi Vignana Kendra Bidar. Now I request Monica to continue with the presentation.
So now we'll see about the system implementation. As you can see in the slide, the flow of execution is as firstly, the Arduino Uno R3 connected with the various analog sensors sends the sensor data to ESP8266 node MCU model. That ESP8266 along with other parameters data like temperature and humidity, it sends an HTTP post request to the Apache server to store the sensor data onto the MySQL database through the PHP script. The same sensor data insertion onto the database is done repeatedly for over a period of time or seasons. Then this data from the database along with the other lab tested parameters like nitrogen content, phosphorus content and potassium content are sent to the ML model for the prediction. Then the predicted output is displayed on the web portal which can be accessed from the internet. Moving to the next slide. We have used the decision tree algorithm in our project. Decision tree can be used to visually or explicitly represent decisions and decision making. A decision tree typically starts with a single node which branches into possible outcomes. Which of those outcomes leads to additional nodes which branch off into other possibilities. It uses a tree-like model of a decision through a commonly used tool in a data mining for deriving a strategy to reach a particular goal. It is also widely used in ML. ESP82882866 and Arduino Uno R3 are the two boards which are used for sensor data extraction. This Arduino Uno is a microcontroller board based on the Atmega 328P, whereas this Node MCU is a module based on the ESP8266 with a Wi-Fi system with a full of TCP and IP stack and microcontroller capability. Now Divas Sajjan will continue.
I want to talk about let's see the sensors used in this project. The first sensor is these are the sensors used in this project. The first sensor is the DHT11 humidity and temperature sensor. Next slide. It is a low-cost, basic, easy-to-use sensor which has three main components: a resistive type humidity sensor, an NTC negative temperature coefficient, a thermistor, and an 8-bit microcontroller which converts the analog signals from both the sensors and sends out single digital signal. Next is a rain sensor, which is composed of rain detection plate with a comparator which manages intelligence. Rain sensor is basically a board on which nickel is coated in the form of lines. It works on the principle of resistance. The sensor acts as a variable resistance that will change status. The sensor is a resistive dipole that shows higher resistance when wet and lower resistance when it is dry. The comparator has two outputs connected to the rain sensor. First is a digital output and an analog output. Moving to next sensor. Next sensor is BH1750, which is a digital ambient light sensor or a light intensity sensor. This sensor can be used to adjust the brightness of display in the mobiles, LCD displays, or to turn on or off the headlights in the car based upon the outdoor lighting condition. It is a light intensity sensor breakout board with a 16-bit AD converter built in which can directly output a digital signal. There is no need for complicated calculation. Moving to next sensor, which is soil moisture sensor. This sensor measures the volumetric content of water inside the soil and gives us the moisture level as the output. The sensor is equipped with both the analog and digital output, so it can be used in both analog and digital mode. Detecting the amount of moisture in the soil and managing irrigation systems helps to avoid a lot of wastage of water and human resources. These kind of sensors make automation of farming easier. And the final sensor is pH sensor. pH, sta- pH stands for potential hydrogen, and it tells us whether the solution or substance is basic, acidic, or neutral based on the pH value. Basic substance has pH value above 7.0, acidic substance has pH value below 7.0, and neutral substance has pH value of 7. The optimal pH range for the most of the common crops is between 5.5 to 6. Moving moving to next. Now Manish will continue.
Okay, now let's have a look on the implementation part. Now let us see how the program is being coded and how it will be executed and what all the inputs and what are the outputs. Now we can see that our working demo, we can see Node MCU, Arduino Uno, and all the sensors connected on the breadboard, interlinked with the jumper wires, and these are connected to the power supply. And for the data cable, we can see that here it is connected to the system. Is connected to the system. Now this data we can see now here the rain sensor, the soil moisture sensor, the light intensity sensor, and the temperature and humidity sensor. We can see all the sensors connected to this. From where actually we need to assemble this in a very systematic manner in the final product. After which we can fix that device on the agricultural field land, and we can extract all the required sensor data from the agricultural field land for the further process of the data. Okay, as we have seen the IoT device which was connected to many sensors, the Arduino board, the Node MCU board, and all the sensors were connected in a fashion in the as shown in that circuit diagram. Now, what we'll do is we will extract those sensor data onto our database through the Arduino serial monitors or on through the connections which we made through localhost. We can see that we have turned on the localhost here at Apache, and the database server MySQL both are turned on. The Apache server is at 81 port and MySQL server is at 3306 port, and at to this port at 3306 port we are sending this data through post methods, to post HTTP post methods. We are sending this data sensor data to the database. Okay, now let's have a look on that execution. We can see that here is the code. We are connecting to the local network, and we are initializing some variables, and we are setting something so that we can get the all sensor data. Like firstly we can see we're connecting to the local network. Of once it is connected, we are initializing the type of mode which we are supposed to get from the sensors, and we are turning on the DST model, and with some delay we are initializing all the required things in the setup loop in setup function, and later we will run the loop function which will be which will be collecting data from the sensor and sending to database, like in the repeated mode, like in the loop mode. We can say, like in the first we can see that the humidity data is red, and that is being displayed on the serial monitor. Next the temperature is recorded and it is displayed, and next the emitter is recorded and displayed, and next the moisture is recorded and displayed, and next the light intensity is recorded and displayed. The difference is the humidity data is collected from the sensor from the DHT model, and temperature model is also extracted from the DHT model. But except rain data and soil moisture data, we can see that it is being read from the serial.read function. That is, we're getting this data from the Arduino board, which is connected to the Node MCU board through serial communication, through TX and RX of serial communication. Later we can see that we are reading LDR value, the light intensity value from the D1 port, and this data we are sending it to the database. Like you can see that function, we're connecting to some local server, Apache server, and to that server we are running a page, a PHP page, to which we are sending post request data. We can see that post request header here, after which we are sending a request data like humidity is so and so, temperature is this data, all the sensor data like moisture, rain data, moisture data, LDR value, everything we are putting it into an header, and we're sending the data to the database through post request. We can see we are executing a request, http.post, and after which we are getting a response from the server, which is being displayed on the serial monitor of the Arduino board. If everything is right, it will end up executing this code. If it's everything is not getting executed well, if something there is an issue with the connection, then we'll get this message. Okay, now we can see that execution part. We can see the dots here, Wi-Fi is connected, and this is the IP address of our node MCU. We can see the humidity value, temperature value, rain meter, soil moisture value, light intensity value. As we are at home right now, so we are not getting any value for the soil moisture and rain meter and light intensity. Once we implement this in the live scenario, the live working agricultural field area, we get a value, dynamic value to that, like it will be ranging from 0 to 1024, as these all are analog signals. And we can see when we can see the implementation part, we can see that this is being inserted onto the database. Can have a look on that as well. As we can see, the data is being inserted. We can see the latest timestamp, it is 14/6/2020 at 11:24. We can see that data is being inserted from the front end, like from the sensor, from the Arduino board, and it is being inserted into the database. And this data which we received from here is being sent to the front end, which is designed using PHP, HTML, and CSS. We can have a look on that as well. Like we can see the front end where we will be extracting those database data here. Like once we press that, we can, like we are getting the values like 29 degrees Celsius, the average value. Like we will be collecting this data for over a period of time, for over a season sometimes, and we will be training the model for all this data, and we will be giving the manual output so that it can be, get it trained well. And we got this data from Krishi Kalyan Kendra Bidar. They will be they have been helping us for the very long time in getting the data, for organizing the data. These are the major factors, major meteorological factors on which the crop recommendation is being predicted. Now we can see that we have got the sensor data which from the database and being displayed here, and now we can see the code of that as well. Here we can see the data, like we're extracting the things which we have inserted there the other database, and we are taking a mean value. It is the average value of those things. Like we will be taking mean value of some data like temperature, humidity, and we will be taking a mode value for like some sunlight intensity. Like we are sometimes the weather will be sunny, sometimes the weather will be rainy, sometimes the weather will be very different. So we will be taking the most repetitive scenario out of those season, out of those selected time period. We can see the code, HTML code, for displaying all the data collected from the sensors. Later, and two of them are manual, and rest of all are automated. The two of the things are the soil pH value and the soil nutrients value. What all these soil nutrients means? The NPK values, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and the potassium concentration. There is an index value for NPK which we got to know about these from the Krishi Kalyan Kendra inspector. There will be an index value for all this. They will set an index value starting from like 0 to 15, 18 based on the rating of the content of the macronutrients and micronutrients. These we will get from the these data we received from the test lab itself, testing lab itself. After which we will be entering those data here in the front end. Soil pH level also we get this data from the what we can see from the lab itself. We can make it sensorized once we get a proper chemical environment to test all these things. Like as a sample, we can enter like 5, and next we can like enter the concentration. It could be 4 or 5, anything based on data. The good the good index value for the good index NPK value would be 8 to all for all the crops to go efficiently. Later we can see the machine learning like after this up to here the work of database is completed, after which what we will be doing is we will be sending this data to a trained machine learning model. We can see that here. Until then we can see the data set from which we will be the from which the data the machine learning model is trained. The machine learning model the algorithm implemented for this machine learning model is the decision tree algorithm, where it will be taking data in step in like in levels. At each level the decision is made so that the next predicted level the next level can be predicted. We can see the code is open now. We will be training the model using this data set. We will be removing any null values, and we will be segregating these as independent values separately, and we will be again segregating these data as test and train data. We can set at 0.1 with random set of 0. Later which we will be declaring an decision tree regression model, to which we will be training the model with the trained data. We can see X train and Y train, where uh, X is the data, the input data, and Y is the output data. After which we can see the accuracy check using the method R2Score, using which we will be testing the data, testing the model using the test data. And later we can see we have used the Flask framework, using which we can actually run it's a front-end framework using which we are executing the data on Python, and we're getting the output on the web technologies things. We can see the data we will be receiving here using the post method. We can see the post method. Using that method, we will be receiving all the data from the front end, and will be calculated. Here we can see y test1 regressor.predict. We will be predicting the output using this data which we received from the front end, and after which the output will be displayed at the front end at y test1. We can see that output.html. Here in output.html we can see that output page, which we can now run that code. Here we can see the predicted output, predicted crop. We are having some images, we are having some content through which we will be displaying the output. We can see, we can just now run this server. We need to turn on this server so that we can get the data from the front end and process the data and get the output. Let us wait for a few minutes so that the server gets turned on. Yes, now we can see that the server is turned on at so and so localhost 5000 port, and can see that the code is, the server is on now. We're sending the data to this address itself. We can see that action URL here. Okay, now we can send the data from here. Yeah, we can see that the output is tur dal. You can see that the localhost address and the port address, which is the address of the machine learning code, the Flask framework code, the Flask framework IP address. You can see that the output is tur dal. Based on the inputs of the current data and the current trained model, we're predicting only three crops: tur dal, sugarcane, and tur dal, and soya bean. We are predicting for these three crops right now because of the information we got from our local Krishi Kalyan Kendra. If for the future scope, we can add more and more crops. We can add more and more things to this so that it can be improvised a little more, and we can add even more parameters, even more lab tested parameters to this model, and we can predict a crop which can be grown efficiently at a crop of a agricultural field crop, like removing all the risk of market risk and financial risk and weather risk. We can remove the weather risk, like whether the crop will be uh, will give a better result for this year or not, whether the weather will be predictable for this year or not. Everything is unpredictable, but we can get at a accuracy, at a better accuracy, so that we can predict something at a given particular land. uh, and we can continue our presentation from here. Like we can see, this is our output screen, which we are just now had and looked into that. We need to give the input here, later which we will get the output. um, that's all from our implementation. Now let us have a look onto our conclusion part. Like you can say that considering all these parameters, the system helps in predicting an efficient crop which can be grown efficiently in a particular field area, uh, which results in a good crop yield, high income, eliminating all sort of market and weather risk. Based on this system, the soil health card, which is now being issued manually, like testing some very minor things, even from the system, we can even issue soil health card, the crop health card we can issue. The validating and issuing of crop loans, crop insurance for the banks become easier. Right now, the loans being issued, the insurance being claimed, the insurance being issued to all the farmer land, to all the farmer field area, to all the crops, which can be made easier, which can be made using the system. Like we can predict the things made very easier from the system. This data can also be used for various education research purposes, like for the future instances, for if someone is interested to learn the prediction purpose, the any more anything, the education purpose, we can use system for that reason. Uh, and these are the references from which we got inspired. We got we it made us to work. Special thanks will be to the Krishi Kalyan Kendra, because of whom we got so much of information to execute the things on. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.